Stuff. Come up here where you can see. Don't stand back there in the corner. All right. How many of you passed kindergarten? Please tell me. Thank you, because I was worried. All right. How many of you passed cutting? Cutting. You know, scissors, cutting, gluing. Okay. All right. Everybody passed that. Excellent. Okay. So I had done this. In fact, I just did this last year on a race car engine that I had to put together, and I needed a fuel pump gasket, small block Chevy, for the plate. There's a plate, and then the fuel pump bolts kind of through that. It's an adapter plate. The kit that I bought didn't have a gasket, so I had to make one. So I went in the house and I grabbed my Cheerios box from cereal, you know, using all recycling, and I went out there and I made a gasket. It took me no time at all. I've done this 1,000 times, no big deal. So this is regular gasket material. It's not, you know, cereal box material. It's regular gasket material. So I only would use this in an emergency, obviously, but in the case you have to make something like, you know, a simple thermostat gasket or something like that, you can do it. It's a pretty simple process. I just had a young man that I have earlier in the day from welding polish this down to make this a little sharper to make it easier for you to work with. Okay. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to get a piece of gasket material from me. You get one try. That's it. You blow this, you mess this up, you don't get signed off for it. Okay. Lay this down. Oddly, they're about the right size already because I cut them. And you're going to trace this out. This is why we ask if you pass kindergarten. Tracing, cutting, drawing, you know, the simple things in life. All right. So you do that first. Next step, you have to cut this out. And please, take your time and do a good job. Okay, this is not hard. I even gave you scissors, nice sharp ones. Anybody that's lefty here? Good thing, because I don't have any left-handed scissors here. Take your time, do a nice job, don't cut yourself. And I really, really don't want to come back in on Friday morning and see trash all over my floor. Because look what's right here.
Was that your computer conversations with?
Yes, in my office. How many look so far? Beautiful. Now, this next step. Take pencil, and I want you to heavily shade the center of it. Like this. And this is just so we transfer a line. That's all we're trying to do with this. Doesn't make it seal any better, nothing like that. I'm just trying to make it transfer a line. Because now we're going to cut off the center. So you lay this on there, I'll line it all up, and I do try to kind of hold this nice and tight, and I take my thumb and I start to try to work this inside edge with my thumb. So like pretend the gasket's there and I'm trying to just kind of work this, and what it'll do, this is nice and sharp now, it's going to transfer this circle onto that, and you're going to see where to cut. Make sense? It's pretty simple. And again, you can do this, some people do this with a piece of wood, I just use my thumb. I mean, you don't have to sit there for 10 minutes doing it, you just got to do it for a couple minutes. Just kind of massage this in there with your thumbnail, your thumb, and even sometimes it'll start to show up even on the other side. And the longer you do it, the more pronounced it will be, easier it will be for you. All right, can you see it? Join it for the video. Now, I've actually had some kids, not many fortunately, that'll start from the outside and then cut the circle out. Defeats the purpose of the gasket. Okay, so you gotta just poke through the center of it carefully, because the scissors are sharp. Don't come to me later that you stabbed yourself. Like, I stabbed myself, I'm bleeding. Like, yeah, no kidding, you stabbed yourself. I told you to be careful. So poke a hole in this, and then cut the inside out very carefully. And here's where everybody kind of messes up because they get all in a rush and they don't follow the line. And I'm kind of hurrying just so you guys can work today. So I will try to do a good job. And on just the last demo I'm going to do today, Mr. Ross, I haven't talked about, he might do core plugs for me tomorrow. I'm not here. So you guys can start going up there and doing that. But if you do, you can't go up there and just hide up there. You actually have to do the core plugs. All right. Not perfect, but okay. All right. Trash. So then the last step is you got to put these two holes in it. You can do it with a hole punch, but the hole punch isn't going to be big enough because most hole punches aren't that big. So what I do is I use a hammer for this. It's just like this is how things work in a punch. Like if you're going to punch something out at a factory. So put that there like this. You need a pair of hammers. This little ball peen hammer that's in the crib and a brass hammer so that you don't chip my hammer. Okay. So kind of hold that there. Do not do this on the bench. Do this on this piece of wood here. I put this there. I didn't even put the weight of the transmission on here to hold it for you. Put that there. Put the ball peen hammer there and kind of settle it in there. Make sure it's all nice and lined up. Like that. You do not have to hit this hard. That's the problem. That's how this thing got so beat up, this thermostat housing. People hit it way too hard and then they ended up damaging it. Just gotta literally do this. And it'll punch that hole right in it for you. Just like that. Okay. Put it on the other side. Line up your two hole. Line up your hole for you. And over here. Sit there. Make sure everything all lines up still. And then make sure the hole lines up nice. Set that there. Nice, huh? Now, you're gonna bring that to me, like Simba. It's like a little sacrifice. I'm gonna look at it and go, yeah, it's okay. This is not the best one I've seen. This is okay. It was better than my morning one, but that's great. I'm gonna go, it's really nice. And I'm gonna do this to it. I'm gonna ruin it. Why did I just ruin it?
So someone else can't use it?
Exactly. So you don't go, hey, here's mine. You know, to most extent, we're gonna always crazy anyway. Okay. So then, if you want to take it home, hang it on the fridge, show your parents what kind of skills you have. You might look at it and go, really? It's the best you could do? I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. We'll put this on the Christmas tree this year. Okay. So that's all there is to it. I'll sign you off. And you're done. I don't want to find any mess here. None. Morning class did a good job. I didn't really find much here at all. So, and that's it. Questions? Outstanding. Go do some lab.